The White Wing deck, I'm not sure if I can call it a surprise, but if you would be following the results from Magic Online, especially, the deck was on a rise since the beginning of the
Hmm.
week. And also, Naya Runes is still an aggro deck that's seeing a lot of play on Standard and Alchemy, and but folks on Standard, it's also seeing play. Actually, I made some money yesterday on a tournament playing Naya Runes, so it's definitely a contender.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, besides that, not many aggro decks were seeing play today. So actually, I can see that's the reason Mono Green aggro actually managed to do a top four.
Oh yeah. True.
We
Yeah.
are watching
Yeah.
Alex's game, but because people were just aiming to win the mid-range battles and
Yeah.
wins the go big control decks with the lobsters and with very heavy spells like Farewell. If you see Celeste's sideboard, makes a lot of sense to play around that cards. They have Slit Spellbinder, they have Guardian Fate. Even the White Wind deck plays three Guardian Fate, so the respect
Yeah.
on the big spells matchups is much bigger than the aggro matchups right now. And you see, Helio and Oleksky were able to capitalize on that. The White Wind deck, going to the finals right now, and thus the Mono Green going on semifinals when many people consider it to be not strong enough anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Well, again, you mentioned it that Runes is definitely a top tier deck. Maybe not at the top of the tier one, but definitely a very competitive deck. And I think if you have cards that are good against Runes, you will also have cards that are good against aggro as well, because that deck has functions also similarly where you need to kill the early drops, right? So it's kind of also not
Yeah.
respecting the Rune deck as well. So it's a little bit unfortunate.
Yeah, we'll see if that will cost
Yeah.
the match here for Randolph, aka the Foot Boy.
The hand
But
is good though.
uh, yeah, the hand's pretty good. Also, Prosper Innkeeper will be a pretty strong card here because we'll
Yeah.
be able to block the X1 creatures, the Usher, and the Entrapped Adversary, if not facing, Luminarch or another Entrapped Adversary pumping the team. And, it still be able to hump. So if Blazing Keeper blocks stuff, it still gets to the next point of mana curve. It's a huge play
Ooh.
here against aggro.
That's unfortunate because if we didn't know that they had aspirant, this would be a very good way to stall the board. But now that there's aspirant, that changes the math a little bit. And that means that the mono white deck's actually able to attack. It's much more dangerous.
Yeah, you will attack through this turn and likely to attack through the next turn
Ooh, I
as
don't
well.
I don't like that. I'm not sure why
Yeah,
you would
I don't
offer the
love this attack either, but maybe the white green players considering okay, I do this trade right now,
Yeah, I guess yeah.
but it's not terrible because
Yeah, at least they're
I
not
will
gaining life
still
with
be
the
able to prevent my opponent to gain life.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, I understand that. That's definitely true. I guess, and then you always have the aspirant buffing itself and being able to attack as well. So it's still the counter is still useful to attack. So I definitely see that. Oh, that's oh
Weird.
wow.
Ye-
Okay, so they're going for the
Uh,
maximum. Oh, okay, we see the bench. Yeah, they're going for the maximum tempo play with the most aggressive line here, which is extremely risky.
yeah, it leads a lot of resource and got severely punished
And they get punished
because
too.
he was counting on double block the entrapped
Yeah,
adversary, and now he is
yeah.
not able to do that. And even if he
Uh,
draws a land, he's still one mana short of Yashar. That would be the card that
mm,
would take the Celestia deck out of Mana Screw. I did not like this double Prospers in
yeah,
Keeper line. I actually believe I would just go a bit of greed and just playing keeper and try
and pass.
to untap for with Yashar the
Yeah.
next turn.
Yep. And then you get to land, and then you get to play the planes, and then you get to hole. So that would have been a higher swing later, but not as good in the immediate turn. So, but definitely thinking long term was probably the correct line there. But they're still in a
Yeah,
bad spot either way, I think. Yeah.
yeah, we're seeing the White Wing hand right now, and he has
Oh,
the
nice.
Wanderer
Wow,
and
that's a good hand.
also the
That's super
the
good.
hopeful initiate on hand, so it's still a pretty strong hand here. Also with
Yeah,
this Adeline, the pressure is really huge
yeah, yeah, yeah.
because even if okay, yeah, Sharn's a great blocker, but
The
it's not
innkeepers are
like they
not.
have a
Yeah,
good follow up for that.
yeah.
They have
Yeah, the
Yasharn, and you have to
problem.
do
Oh,
4/4 Angel, and
the white player
whoa,
has
Valorous
everything.
is
Anyways,
huge here.
this is just this is just running away with it. Like the mono whites just got everything.
Yeah, Valorous Essence was pretty huge here.
I think they're just gonna go for the combat trick of Wandering Emperor. That's gonna be a blowout with the vigilance. Yeah. Wow, that's yeah. I mean, they have to do it, but it's just unfortunately this is the blowout.
Yeah, this is the blowout,
And
definitely.
that's why I'm
I'm not
surprised.
sure if Selesnya has a card on his library that can
No,
save uh,
there's no
from
sweeper.
this. Yeah, there's no sweeper. Maybe Eska's
Unfortunate.
Chariot would provide two
Uh,
blockers, but definitely still not enough.
yeah, the problem is without a sweeper, you basically have no chance of coming back because you're gonna have to make bad blocks to survive, and then it just continues until you die. Unfortunately,
Yeah, he doesn't even have the Sarnhan Leashed Foretold, so uh, still need a lot of resource. I think the portable hole, no, it's not a little yet, but makes it the life
mm,
even harder for the
yeah, it's
Selesnya
not lethal.
tokens
It's
to
close.
stabilize this game.
I think you just were supposed to take the token with hull. It's not gonna matter, but it actually does not matter at all. But they have to block with both innkeepers anyways. So yeah, this looks really
Yeah,
over.
considering they have to block with both, taking the token would be a bit better because if your
Yeah, that's
opponent
just for
somehow manages
people
to destroy the whole,
optimizing.
but I don't think that's making a big difference right now. So
Nah, not even
the
close.
not even close. Yeah, the mana is cruel plus being a bit of greedy. Definitely, that Prospering Keeper play was weird, and
I think
it's not like Celeste deck would have won if he did different, but
yeah,
the game
exactly.
would
Yeah.
be very differently.
Yeah, I think this matchup is just very hard, and especially if they draw Wandering Emperor, which I think is probably the thing that they want to see the least as the Selesnya deck. Like that, the Wandering Emperor is just devastating. It represents so much extra pressure. But but yeah, they had Alain as well.
Yeah,
Everything just went well for Mono White there, and then this
it's a
sideboard
bit
is just rough.
of desperate to start siding boarding, and you just see a couple of removal spells for aggro. I would
I
be on a
think
very helpless situation too as well if I
I think
was on
you
Randolph shoes. So
yeah I think
he's
they
trying
have to
some
board
different
in.
stuff, bringing
Yep,
Guardian of Fate, bringing
I would board in
Elite
Spellbinder. Yeah,
Spellbinders, and see
for
what
sure.
happens.
They have to lower the curve and make sure they're playing high statted creatures to try to trade. But I don't know. This is rough.
Yeah, Elite Spellbinder isn't something you want against aggro because the card, it has low toughness. So even if it blocks well trading with one creature, it blocks well for trading, not for exactly holding the position and
The
making
board
your
down,
opponent
yeah,
have bad attacks.
yeah. But I
And
think on
on
the
the other
play, it's
hand,
actually fine. Yeah,
yeah, it's actually fine, man. Yeah, and on the other hand, the sideboard for White Queen gets a lot better. And I don't know, I still expect to see Helio as a favorite here.
yeah,
Both players mulligans and kept good six hand
yeah,
cards
yeah.
here.
I think
So I'm
seeing
interested to see how
Aspirin
the game develops.
one drop into Aspirin is always like so brutal for any mid range deck.
Yeah, Luminar generates a lot of value and pressure very quickly.
Yeah. It's super rough because also, especially in this case where Brutal Cathar is probably the only removal spell other than Hole or Circle that the Selesnya deck has, like Brutal Cathar doesn't actually do that much to Aspirant because it's converting its counters to other creatures.
Oh, the circle was a good draw here,
Yeah,
but the point is,
yeah, they
I
have to
do
take a risk.
believe that Celestia tokens has to be mana efficient. So, going
Yep,
for
they
brutal
should use the
cutter.
Cathar. I agree. And then this is the key turn for Mono White. If they draw land, this could. Oh, no, they didn't, but they drew Aspirant, so that's also not bad.
Yeah, Aspirant is decent here because the three toughness makes the Share of the Falling a real threat. And also, when he plays a spell, he makes sure that Brutal Cutter doesn't flip. So, having to waste the Valor stance would be very bad for Helio. But not drawing a land, drawing a Luminarch was probably the best card possible.
Yeah, that was the best replacement for land. Ooh, that's rough though. No land again and drawing a 3-drop.
Yeah, he definitely wants to play this Valor stance here. So that's why he tried to
Hmm?
bait the Brutal Cutter on blocking.
Yeah, this is bad.
You
This is
know,
very bad because Kathar's gonna flip.
yeah. It's not easy for the Silesian deck to
Yeah, it's
double
not easy.
spell at
Yeah,
least this turn. You likely
yeah.
go for Yasharn and make sure he hits the
I think I
fifth
would
land.
Wandering Emperor actually. Oh no, no, no. Actually, I wouldn't. I would not run Wandering Emperor. I would play Yasharn. I think you're right. Because then you can flip next turn. Yeah, I would definitely play Yasharn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's a still fair because he's developing the board.
yeah. It's
You
still
know,
good.
Emperor with double blockers.
Well,
Now
guaranteed
if
double
he
blockers.
plays
That's
the
the problem,
Capper,
right? Yeah, yeah. It was likely to be double
okay,
blockers, but find land. This
yeah,
is rough.
this third land was very important for Helio here
Yeah, that
because
was.
dropping the Skyclave makes that tempo play that's big. You know, you get a creature, opponent lose one creature, so it goes pulling your opponent even behind
Ah,
on the
this is
game.
rough. Yeah, especially when you take a card
Yeah,
like Luminarch Aspirant, when it comes back into play, it immediately has an effect. So that's just very rough.
not
Yeah, this is not
double
looking good.
spelling here is pretty bad too as well.
Yeah, this is unfortunate. I mean, that third land just kind of finished off the game, I think, most likely, especially with the rest of the
Yeah,
hand.
but it still has some good board presence
I
here.
guess the wedding
Uh,
announcement flipping is good.
yeah, it is. Yes, making your tokens true makes the life a bit easier on the.
Actually, this might not be done. Yeah, there's
No, definitely far from done. Both players have a lot of gas on hands too,
yeah.
and you know, I think White Wing has the advantage bar here because
Mhm.
he's still able to pressure through damage using the Luminar counters on your attackers, and also has the Valorous stance
I would
to
not
make
attack
sure.
here.
I think it's a
Mm,
fair attack. Makes the
I
board
think it's
simple.
yeah, but it's weird because you have Valor stance and you kind of want to use it to get rid of your Sharn, but I guess I don't know. Like waiting a turn is like
I
attacking doesn't really do much different, right? Than just not attacking because you're not actually
it
getting
makes
any
the
damage
board
in, right?
simply. I think
Yeah,
makes the
I
board
guess.
simply makes a lot of sense
But
because
they can
now he
always
goes
just
for
kill your
brutal
Sharn.
cutter on a token. Yeah,
Yeah,
and
okay,
can
yeah. Yeah, okay, okay.
try to put counters. Now, not attacking would be a fair line because
Yeah.
Brutal Cutter destroys one token. Even if he puts another counter on the token, he would still exchange below, 3/3 for 2/2
Yeah, just one for
on
one,
double
yeah.
block. But now just take a step back and on the next turns, the cutters is still around. If the if it's not answered, it will eat even more creatures out of the Selesnya decks. And the White Trini is bricked on the third land, but has a lot of gas, a lot of possible plays.
Oh wow,
No matter what it draws. Oh, this was huge.
that's big. That's
Yeah, that
actually
that
probably
was
the best.
very huge draw.
Yeah, that's the best thing they could have drawn, I think, in their deck right now, post board.
Yeah, makes the tokens blocking on the floor. Also, the angels on the sky will be able
Would you
to.
not? Would you not attack there? I think I would attack.
No, I think for now I would just pass and not play a spell. Because by
Yeah, I
doing
guess. I
that, I
mean,
could
yeah, if they
Valorous
have,
Stance the Angel and make the
yeah, but
Brutal
they don't.
Cutter flip, and then on the next turn try to reflip it and take the other Angel.
Yeah, I guess they didn't know that. I mean, with the hole in the stance, it's not good to attack, but I don't know. I feel like in some ways you could attack with the two-twos, but in that spot it's bad.
Nah, yeah, you definitely not attack here because of the indestructible. But I was thinking more, try to get some extra value out of your cards because I know eventually players will run out of spells to play, and by doing that, the Brutal Cutter eventually flips, but
Yeah.
it force that flip earlier, and
Well,
it will
also
not even cost a lot.
if you attack, you also draw a card though off the wedding announcement. But again, it would have been bad specifically in that scenario where they have hole and stance. But I don't know. If I was in the
Yeah, on
Selesnya
the
seat, I
Celestia
probably would have
side, I
attacked and
think
lost.
making board is better than drawing card
Yeah, maybe.
because on this point of the game, Celestia draw
Oh
will
my
draw better.
god, that's
Ooh, Rain was
unfortunate.
crucial
I don't
here.
think they can cast that. Yeah.
They're 1 mana short,
Oh, and that's flipping.
but
Oh
now,
no.
yeah, now the bait's planted because if they block with Raiding, Footboy will be able to go Emer's Call for Double Angel and make all the floor indestructible. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not
Okay,
good.
White Queen did not went for the beach.
So they get shield here. Yeah. Ooh, that's not good. That means
Yeah, Faulkner
the
is a strong
Spellbinder
card here.
can't attack either. Yeah, this is rough. Yeah, the Celestia deck is just kind of too weak to. Like, they don't have sweepers. They're weak to wide boards as well, but they're trying to be a wide board deck as well. So it's weird.
Yeah,
I
this
think you
draw
have to
was
attack
actually
there.
pretty good. Yeah, the land for going extra angels. We're just seeing the double faced lands doing some pretty strong
Ah,
work
no.
here.
Yeah, you can't attack any. The shield just makes everything so bad. Oh man.
Yeah, I think the board will clog for a while because the attacks on the Celestial side are pretty bad because of Valkmira. Both players have
Yeah.
kind of low life points, 9 and 12 isn't like one life, but it's in like 20. So,
Well, now that I
one.
think about it, if they remove Redain, they probably win. Selesnya, that is.
Yeah,
They don't have many flying
that
blockers
would
here.
be 14 damage.
Yeah. I mean, they can already attack. That's big. That's very. Wow. Why didn't they block? That's free.
Yeah, I
Unfortunately,
think
I think
one
they
of the
forgot about
blocks was
shield.
definitely free.
They forgot about shield. It happens to me as well. It just the shield is such a bizarre card.
Yeah, definitely can't fault them because Valkmir is a
Yeah.
card we even saw pro players having issues with on MTG. I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
one. a championship game where Reed Duke, I believe, had some issues with Valkyrie as well.
Mhm.
Card can be really confusing and
Yep.
annoying on MTGA, so uh, you're not always seeing the lines, especially because you play raiding because of the creatures, so it's
Yep.
more rare to play the shield size of it.
Yeah, you don't usually play the shield side. And then yeah, there's some weird stuff with like double blocking with the shield where it splits the damage and then reduces it. It's just very weird. But unfortunately in this spot, since they didn't block, they don't really have a good line here because those three flying creatures are all lethal on their own. So this is looking
Yeah,
like a
if
game
they
3.
did block.
That's actually huge. But I guess
There
even if
is
they did
one
block, I think they're still dead, right?
No, there is one secret play here. Yeah, would not matter because
Oh,
he didn't
they
block the.
can free the yeah, they can free the
Yeah, they can
spellbinder.
free the
Ah, yeah,
spellbinder,
yeah.
but that would not be enough blockers
Yeah, yeah.
because they did not block the last turn.
Yeah.
That made a
Actually,
huge
that would have been
difference.
so good. That would have been game changing because they could block the spellbinder with their spellbinder, and that's huge. They would be able to kill an angel with Redain and then also kill the spellbinder, which leaves them with one flyer, which means that they have like the advantage in terms of air control because their
Yeah,
flyers fit
what
in.
would have happened is Celeste tokens don't attack, and eventually the flyers from the White Wing side would be huge enough to push through. Obviously, someone might draw a removal spells
Yeah.
and make some
But
difference.
there's
One might
the
double
Wandering
spell.
Emperor too.
I actually think if the White Wing went for the double spell line on trying to manage their brutal cutters, they could have won
Yeah,
that
they
game
could
much
get
earlier.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that game
Actually,
could have
could have
gone
won
very
the game.
bad.
They did not win.
Yeah, I think
They did not win, so they could have won the
yeah,
game
yeah.
doing that.
Yep, I agree. I think they could have won for sure. But it's those were some harder lines to see. So it's definitely not something that you would expect everybody to be able to do all the time, especially in a high pressure situation like this.
Yeah, many dollars on the line. The winner is taking $2,000 home, $200 home, and
Oh wow.
$100 for the second player too. So at least some money I guarantee. But also they both played 10 rounds of Magic before
Yep,
this game. The 8 rounds
they're
of
definitely
Suez, top
tired.
eight and top four. So yeah, some more difficult lines cannot be seen. Just remember, we are talking comfortable to from our homes. We did not
Yep.
play a lot of games of Magic, and even sometimes we will miss some lines and not exactly uh, catch some iterations. So yeah, Tog
Oh no,
spot for players here.
no. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, this is just very unfortunate. Oh, they're gonna do that too, but I think it's just better to not remove the spellbinder in that case and save your apparition.
The
I feel
point is
like
going with apparition makes you have more board presence because if you
yeah, but
have
the two
raiding.
two is not like this apparition could have dealt with something more important than spellbinder, right? Because spellbinder can't really
Yeah,
attack
this
past the
brutal
3/4.
cutter.
Yeah, well, it's, in this case, brutal Qatar, but pretty much anything better than a 3/1 flyer. Again, we said when they were boarding that you don't really want spellbinder against aggro. I mean, it's just a weak creature, especially when you have Redain. So this is actually unfortunate now that Qatar's on the board and they have no answer for it. And now they get access
Yeah,
to Chariot too. Oh wow, this is rough.
this chariot is definitely something for the
Yeah.
Silesian player here because they had to face raiding before and were like, okay, this is pretty bad. My hand's uncastable. And now with brutal cutter and not having raiding free, Selesnya is started to getting on the lead and turn the corner here because Eska's chariot will attack the
Oh
next turn.
wow. Oh my
Ooh,
god, they
Legion
drew
Angel
Legion
was a
Angel.
great draw indeed.
Oh man,
That's
that's the best draw in
very,
the entire
the
deck.
drama is going up on this game 3, right?
This is actually that is definitely the best draw, and probably the only draw that brings them back into this game. Or I guess no, if they found something for the brutal Qatar, it would have been okay as well. But this is definitely way better than that.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it
I would.
makes all the attacks uncomfortable. I
I
mean,
guess that makes sense. Yeah.
if as the attacks with chariot
You
and
just block the
the
angel.
yeah, I think I would have attacked with chariot here.
I think so too. You have another one. You
Yeah,
just take the trade with
exactly.
the
You have
flyer
another one.
because
If opponent
yeah, the
doesn't
flyer
block,
is
you
a
just
good
play the
problem.
second chariot and extra blockers and gain life and
Oh
everything.
wow,
But if your
they
opponent
actually.
does block, you just get the full value out of it.
Yeah, and also you have to consider that there's the initiate as well that at some point will just destroy chariot at some point if the game goes long enough. So you want your value now and you want to take the flyer out because that thing is hard to deal with. But they just drew apparition as well, which is I would have played apparition, but I mean, I guess it depends how scared they are of like big spells. I think they
Yeah,
had the
we also
board
have
pretty
to
much locked down.
see if the White
Oh
Winnie
wow.
is going for the fourth Legend Angel because sometimes they have 1 and 3 and sometimes they have 2 and 2, and
I think
and
they have
this
one and
specific
three. Yeah.
spot that would be on main board they have 1 and 3. So if they did not side the second copy, I sometimes do that. That's why I say so. If they do that, they won't have another angel to bring. But if they have another angel, they are likely very, very upfront on the damage race.
What combat trick could happen here? Is there a combat
On the
trick in that deck?
Celestial side, they're not playing Valorous stance,
Oh, there's
so
Snakeskin Veil. There's
yeah, but I
Snakeskin
don't
Veil.
think they
So
they
they had to double
brought
block,
that
I
against
guess.
White Wing.
Well, they were still scared of it, right? So I guess it kind of makes sense to double block. So I don't mind that. Oh, this apparition is so huge, man. The apparition and the Legion Angel were like the best cards that they could have drawn for sure. This apparition
Yeah,
just resets everything.
and
It's just
bring
so huge.
extra. Yeah, there will be Legend Angel and Redain going back.
That's huge. That makes the Mirror's Call useless. That gives them two more flyers. Both can block easily the tokens as well. The 2/2s. This is just very bad.
Yeah, Skyclave was huge. It was a red
That's
on
so
Helio's hand. He drew the planes for this turn, but it still makes a big play
yeah, it's fine.
here. We also get the answer for the
There's
angel.
four,
Yeah,
yeah.
they went with 1 and 3 and just top deck the
I
one
think
only angel for the wings, I guess.
yeah, I think I would actually board in Bolt 2 and split 2 and 2 because it is actually a huge card in this matchup, I think. If I was boarding,
Yeah, yeah, Sharn
it's
wasn't
not good
bad,
enough, but
but
it's not terrible.
yeah, he's not be able to play even the Marius. The Marius will cost
Yeah,
nine
that and
mana and
Mirror's Call.
goes to 7 and 8 on the next turn. So not a great situation here for Selesnya.
And no sweepers. I think maybe having like even one sweeper in the deck would have been interesting because you're relying not only on creatures, you have like the artifacts, you have the enchantments. So having that one sweeper to potentially bring you back in a game like this would be interesting. But yeah, they don't have that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of the Selesnya list packing like a couple of those cards on sideboard, and I think
Yeah,
that works
Doomstar is
pretty
good card.
well. Yeah,
Yeah.
because the deck lists are open. When the deck lists are open,
Mhm.
putting some respect on your opponent is
Yeah.
sometimes worth a lot more than having the sweeper itself. Because
Yeah.
your
That's
opponent
why I have one
sees you have
extra.
those cards, so you play
Yep.
around it. You make the development different. Sometimes they take it slow, and you gives you time to stabilize with other threats and removals. And when you doesn't have the sweeper, your opponents just go all in all the time, and you get
Yep.
punished by that.
Yeah, it's just
Also,
the
I actually think the point on Silesia here is not respecting enough aggro. I'm not sure
yeah.
which matchups Randolph faced through the day, So sometimes not
Oh, I
respecting
can check
aggro was
actually.
good
Yeah.
to make him top 8, but definitely scolding him this final.
Wow, it looks like they did end up beating. They ended up beating Mono White and Naya Runes 4 times in the Swiss rounds. That's actually incredible. So they, even
Well,
with their
that's
limited
huge.
amount of removal, they still were able to beat those matchups. So that's, I guess that means something. But yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah,
to win the
maybe
entire
maybe
tournament,
they know
you have to
something
have.
we do not. One of the loss was actually to Naya Runs 2 as well on the second
Oh,
round
I didn't.
for
Yeah, I
Randolph.
didn't see that. Yeah. So they beat three.
So yeah, maybe they did not face the correct white win because Helio is also on
Sure.
fire
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thing
He
is when you want to
lost.
go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying he lost the round 3 against a mirror match on white win and never lost another game again. Beat
Yeah.
all kinds of aggros and control and mid-range decks. So white win seemed like a great call for this weekend. And